All right, good morning, Wasteland. Sorry, Mr. G was on vacation in Yellowstone, so I'm a little behind the ball and a bunch of news and Crossout. So we're going to talk about the devs attempting to kind of overhaul the game engine. That's been the last couple of dev blog updates. Because we're not getting a new game engine, what we're seeing is basically just polishing up what we already have. So adding stuff that other games have, like motion blur and lens flare and more weapons effects. Basically what they're saying is, hey, look, you can see more of the pew-pew that you're doing on the battlefield, and that should, give you more information. If you've also been following, you know that on the test server, they were toying around with physics, kind of trying to nerf wedges. But really all it looks like it did was actually provide a buff to melee weapons, because as soon as you get touched, it's a mess. There's a lot going on with these guys trying to polish up the existing game engine. Let's kind of just quickly kind of look at what's coming down the pipe. What are the devs working on? And let me kind of just put the last few dev blogs together for you guys in a quick and dirty Mr. G Crossout update. So, they've got the old versus the new here, and how we're rendering stuff within the game engine. It looks a little brighter to me on that particular one. I'm not seeing a huge difference here. I did just get a new rig, so, I guess I'll be looking forward to tweaking some of these settings and turning some of these up. They're talking about light propagation. They're talking about shadows and local reflection, so getting maybe a little bit better shadow system going on in the game. Honestly, I don't think they're going to be able to make a huge difference in what you're already seeing in the game because it's the same engine. The biggest difference I think I've noticed with graphics and Crossout has been just when they upgraded the textures on parts, provided more detailed textures for the parts that exist. It's a bit better. The lighting and the shadows look a little bit better. Motion blur, I guess if you're into that, that can look all right. That can look decent. I'll have to wait and see in game how that looks when they finally finalize all this. A little lens flare, if that's your jam. If you want it to look like a Michael Bay movie, rock yourself on that with a little bloom as well. But let's jump into the more updated dev blog. This one from a couple days ago. Artwork and effects. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to say, look, we want to improve the visual perception of what is happening around the player in the battle. So they're saying that to do that, they need to try and tweak the graphics engine to be able to do a better job of that. So they also want to improve the effects of what you're seeing, whether it's an explosion or a flamethrower or a puddle of fire on the ground or, a cannon shell blowing up your enemy. They want to make that work better. So what are they trying to do to get that done? So they're using the guys in their virtual effects departments and programmers to kind of polish the existing game engine to get it to do that. So some new firing effects when you're firing guns, right? You got a little bit more of a explosive action coming out the barrel of your gun when you're firing it. So, hey, that might be something that might look decent. We'll see how that goes. Those of you with older rigs, if you're running this on an old laptop, is it going to maybe demand a little more out of your PC? Probably. Tracer and projectile effects. So maybe we'll get a little bit better tracer effect from bullets that we can be able to see. Hit effects, right? They're going to make it look cooler when a bullet hits a target, right? You're going to get more flare, more spark, more kaboom. Perk effects. So that you're going to see from the icons. They're really trying to make that easier for you to see as well. Global rework of the explosion and vehicle destruction effects. So hopefully they put some serious effort into this. Because it's one of the best parts of the game is just seeing like a tire blown off your enemy that you just destroyed rolling across the battlefield. We'd like to note that after the update, a burning skeleton will remain from each destroyed car. It will consist of the vehicle's cabin and some of the parts attached to it. I like that. I actually like that a lot. It will include a physical model, so you can run into this. It can, the skeleton of a dead vehicle can, be a barrier. I like that. You can also use it as cover. I think it just adds to the game. I think it just adds a little bit of element to the game. I know it's not a huge deal, but the fact that they're going through and polishing it is decent. They're also going to make the self-destruction animation a little bit cooler. They're working on that. And then, of course, they're working on weapon destruction or updated weapon or module destruction effects. So, if your gas tank blows up, we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Previously, when you destroyed an important module, you couldn't really see it, but now you can see like a module blow up from a great distance. So that could be a real game changer if you blow up someone's gas gen from far away. As for movement effects, they're saying wheels, tracks, and augers will be accompanied by new effects that correspond to the terrain. Whether it's skidding or braking, the effects of hovers and mechanical legs have been updated according to their features. So maybe we'll get some different tracks left in the dirt and sand when we drive over it. And then they're tweaking the game camera. Okay, what do they want to do? Improve perception of objects and scale. Dun, dun. Interesting. Not sure how that's going to play out. I'm not really sure how that's going to work, what they're going to be doing with something involving camera angle and the distance. We're just going to have to wait and see how that plays out. The camera is now located a little closer to the car. Okay, make things appear a little bit bigger. If you guys haven't been following, they've also been toying with increasing the durability across the board of parts, which would result in, longer battles, right? So we, don't get wrecked quite as soon. Maybe similar to a MechWarrior battle a little bit more. The bigger your armored car, the more of its lower part is being cut off. I guess that makes your car look a little bit larger. Just to get the scale of bringing a bigger vehicle into combat. Okay, this is something Gromek talked about back when he was still doing the game. He did a great video on this. But we have also returned the point of convergence for the crosshairs to the center of the screen. Although the higher camera position increases the area for close combat, it was uncomfortable and had a big impact on the overall usable screen area. So they've moved the reticle back into the center of your screen. Hopefully that's good. We've shifted the camera position to the front of the car relative to the center of mass. Basically, guys, long story short, lots of tweaking of the camera angle and just how the game is going to look. We'll have to wait and see how that all plays out when they finally roll all this out. And, they will do a test server. You guys have to download that separate version of Crossout to try that out. But guys, yes, I'm still here, still doing videos. Sorry if they've been a little slower. I'm my own boss now, so the more I work on my other job, the more I get paid. You guys, you know how that goes. So nothing wrong with that. Now, guys, as always, be good, stay safe out there in the wasteland, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Mr. G out.